30 weeks pregnant, and it was quite a milestone of a journey that seemed to take forever. Though only 10 weeks left to go, this was a sign that it will soon come to an end. By now, the baby was done developing. They're just chilling in the uterus, gaining weight, and preparing for the impending birth. It was also a good time for the soon-to-be parents to start preparing for theirs, as well as their baby things. Most parents would be preparing a room, getting a diaper bag ready, and packing for the hospital. Lori Loud was already prepared for the most part. That way, her family made a small nursery in her and Lenny's room, as well as giving her and Bobby their own apartment. Still, though, their baby will still need a lot of things. Today was a day that she and her sisters have been looking forward to for the past few months. It was a baby shower. Lori looked over through her closet, trying to find something to look presentable in. She was practically walking belly by now. A small pile of clothes lay on the floor, and she would throw away any if she didn't want to wear. She said, pulling out a green blouse. What about this one? She laid over and then quickly threw in the pile. Nope, too summery. Sighing, the teen then looked over, or adult per se, stepped back from the closet, looking at the remaining clothes on the hangers, which belonged to Lenny. To distract herself of her fashion dilemma, she decided to go and check on the party preparations. Oh, hi, Lori. She turned to see Lincoln leaving his room and walking over to her. Hey, Lincoln, she said, putting her hand on her back. Are you excited for the party today? Her brother nodded. Yeah, I've been really ready for the baby before the shower, she laughed. Surprisingly, their mother never really had baby showers. Other than that she was pregnant with Lori, of course, she always liked to use some baby stuff all over again. And seeing that they almost always had girls, things worked out smoothly. This will be an new experience for you, huh? The Earl asked. He nodded. Yes. Also, he looked up at her. You need some help? She held out her hand. Sure, she replied. He grabbed her hand, and then they began to walk down the stairs. For the past 2 weeks, Bobby or one of the Silmans would offer to help Lori climb up and down the stairs. She was perfectly capable of doing it herself, but she loved how they were all willing to help her. Once at the bottom, she spotted Lenny and Carlota sitting on the couch. Okay, Carlota started. What if pink streamers go over there? She pointed at the spot in the living room, while the blue ones go over here. Lenny then tapped her chin with the pen. Ooh, great idea, she said. And then the balloons and the snack table can go over there. Carlota wrote something down on her notebook. I like what you think, Lenny. Lori and Lincoln went up to them. How's the party planning going? Without any looking up from her notepad, Carlota answered, It's great. We've already sent Luann and Lana to pick up some games. Luna is in charge of the music. Lynn and Lola are in the kitchen making snacks. Lucy and Lisa will be welcoming the guests, and Lily is all taken care of. Lori nodded. Wow, it seems like you guys have it all under control. Carlota looked up at her. Yep, and Bobby should be back with the rest of the family soon, so we can get this thing started. Lincoln looked around, then bounced up and down. Hey, what can I do? Lenny then turned and looked at him. I think we already have everything taken care of. Sorry, Linky. He stopped bouncing and his face dropped as if it was on his shoulders. Oh, it's okay. I guess I'll go back to my room. Before he could leave, Lori grabbed his shoulders. Actually, Link, she said, there's something you can help me with. His eyes brightened. Really? What is it? She grabbed his head and led him to the stairs. Come on. Lori then sat Lincoln down on the edge of the bed. Okay, what do you need, sis? She then pointed at the pile of clothes laying in front of him. I literally can't find anything to wear, and it's infuriating me, she said, stomping her foot. So I thought you could maybe help pick something out. He then stared at the pile of clothes laying in front of them, and the various colors and designs almost made look like a pile of piece of art. He got down from the bed and getting on his knees and began to look through the clothes. Scratching his white hair, he tried to spot something. Lincoln wasn't really a fashion guru, but he knew his sisters and he knew what they liked, especially when it came to clothes. Lori and Lenny both had similar fashion styles, making his decision somewhat difficult. He then sorted through the clothing and tried to think of what she might want. It's cold outside, so maybe she wants a sweater, he thought to himself. Maybe some leggings, those are comfy. Finally, after sorting through everything for a good 5 minutes, he made his decision. He picked up his clothing and handed it over to her. Laying before her was a light blue sweater that went to her knees. Then she added a black plain leggings and the pair of black boots to go with it. Want to see me try it on? She asked. The boy nodded and quickly turned around, closing his eyes as she got undressed. You can look now, Linky, she said. He turned around and smiled when he saw her. How do I look? She asked, striking a pose. You look great, he said. She then moved her hands to her belly. You think so? She asked. I like the way it shows off my bump. He put his hand on her belly. Yeah, it looks cute, he said. I mean, this party is for them all after all. You're right, and now it looks like they want to come and join everyone, she laughed, laughing. Thanks for helping me, Lincoln. You're welcome, Lori, he said. And also, will it be okay if I invite Clyde? She put her finger up to her chin. Depends. Does he still have a crush on me? He put his hands behind his back and tilted his head. Well, kinda, he started. But when I told him about you being pregnant, he didn't take it very well. She raised a brow. But we talked about it, and I told him that how excited I am to be an uncle, and he said that he supports you and me and Bobby too, he continued. I don't think he's 100% okay with it, but he knows that not to be disrespectful. That's true. Clyde always is such a sweet, polite boy. It was his crush on Lori that made everyone avoid him whenever he came over. If that's the case, then sure, he could come, she said. Just make sure he behaves. He nodded. I will, he said, heading towards the stairs. Thanks, Lori. You're welcome, Lincoln, she said before leaving the room herself. Time to see how everything was going. I want to do it, Lana said as she reached up for the bowl. Luann grabbed the bowl from the microwave and shook her head. Lana. Remember what Mom said? The 6-year-old pouted and crossed her arms. Oh, come on. I only got a 2nd-degree burn, she said. The commandant grabbed a spoon and stirred up the melted chocolate. I know it's because that you were the heat of the moment. She then took a moment to laugh. But seriously, I don't want you getting hurt. So I will be the one handling this part. She then pointed at the box of diapers lying on the table. Why don't you go and lay a bunch of those diapers, okay? Lana sighed. Fine, but if I get to put one on Charles. She then looked over the family dog, who was hiding under the table. She then began to walk towards him. Oh, come on, buddy, it'll be fun. You'll never have to go outside ever again. Charles barked away further, whining. Doggy, Lily babbled as she crawled onto the floor, reaching her hands out for the dog. But before she could, though, her face turned red and a fart sound could be heard. Poo-poo. A foul stench soon filled the room, causing Lana to hold her nose. Looks like Lily might need one, too. Back in the kitchen, Luann was bumped out of the way, causing her to almost spill the chocolate. She turned around to see Lynn standing there. Hey, watch where you're going, Lynn. Sorry, sis, but I have got the microwave, Lynn said, grabbing her own bowl and putting it in the microwave. The dip isn't going to warm itself. Just be careful next time, Luann said. This is for our games. She then pointed at the bowl in her hands. Ooh, so we are doing the old poop diaper game? Her sister asked. Luann nodded. Yeah, it was Lana's idea, she said. Now, what are you making? Hearing the microwave go off, Lynn opened it and grabbed her bowl. I made my signature spicy bean and cheese dip. Let's hope it's not too spicy. Lori has been craving having a heartburn lately, remember? The sporty teen stuck her finger in the dip. Well, I'm sure everyone else will enjoy it. She licked the fingers off, leaving a small trail of spit between her fingers and her mouth. Ew, Lynn, put that away, Lola said as she came over to her sisters. What do you have, Lola? Luann asked. I made something simple, but it's totally a party pleaser. She then held up a medium-sized oven pan. It's a pigs and a blanket. It smells good in there, Luna said as she walked into the kitchen. She then looked at Lola. Needed some help with that, Lols? You know the rents are about as you little guys use in the oven. The 6-year-old handed over to her. Yes, please, she said. I do not want to risk burning my gloves off again. Gotcha, sis, the rocker said, as she put the pan from her and placed in the oven after taking it from her sister. There we go. Let me know when the timer goes off. I'll be up in my room finish this Rad's playlist. Speaking of Rad, said a voice. The girls jumped to see Lucy right in the room. Lucy, please try to stop doing that, Lynn said. Sorry, sisters, Lucy said, but I thought I'd let you know we have an early guest. Who? Luna asked. Suddenly there was a pair of hands covering her eyes. Guess who? Luna gasped. Excitement. Sammy? She then turned around to see Sam, her arms outstretched. The two shared a hug and Luna spoke. I'm so glad you can make it. I didn't plan on missing this. I love baby showers, Sam said, especially when my girlfriend is going to be an aunt. They separated holding each other's hands and they arrived at a good time, Luna said. Hey, wanna help me pick out some tunes? The blonde girl's eyes lit up. Of course! They went upstairs and holding hands as they walked. Oh, that's so cute, Lola said. Luann then turned to her. Hey, you know, I just had a thought. Her sisters leaned in closer. We're the same, they said in illusion. We've already got Lori and Bobby. How now, Luna and Sam? Do you know who's next? Lucy and Rocky? Lola asked, as she smiled and when she saw Lucy blush from under the corner of her eyes. Well, they are cute, but no, I was thinking more like, she paused, Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. Her sisters then looked with smiles on their face. Oh, you're right, sis, Lynn said. Maybe it's their day too. We should mention this to our sisters, Lucy asked. Luann shook her head. No, they're all too busy. Let's just let this be our thing for today. It was almost noon and everyone was busy putting their finishing touches on everything for the party. All the streamers and balloons were hung, and there was a table filled with snacks. The couch had been moved to make room for more chairs, and there was music playing. Lori stood on top of the steps, watching the door. Bobby still hadn't come back yet, but she wasn't worried. His family liked to run late, just like hers. Hey, Lori, Lincoln said as he came to stand next to her. Are you excited? She nodded. Yeah, now I'm just waiting for everyone to arrive. Who did you invite? He asked. She put her finger to her chin. Let's see, Carlota, Sam, and are already here. Well, I invited Whitney, Becky, Nicole, and all of the Castrays ladies. She said, oh, and what did Clyde say? He said he'd love to come, though he may have to step out every once in a while. She waved her hand down. Okay, that's fine. Just as long as I don't get any blood on my shoes. She motioned to her feet. Then we're good. Her brother laughed. I got it. I'll watch him, he said. Oh, and there's also something I want to ask. She then turned to him. What is it? He rubbed the back of his neck. Do you know how Ronnie Ann's coming over? She nodded. You mean your girlfriend? The boy said to her head. She's not my girlfriend, he exclaimed. She laughed and rubbed his hair. I know, I'm just teasing. He then sighed. Anyways, I have always spent the night at her house. Do you think that maybe she could stay over here for a couple days? Oh, I think that'd be a great idea, Lori said. Have you talked to her about it? Not yet, but I want to ask her at the party, he said. Just want to see what you thought first. I'm sure Mom and Dad won't mind, she told him. Thanks, Lori. Hey, Stinkton, can you come and help us with all this food? Len called out from the living room. Well, that's my cue, she said before heading down the stairs. Be careful, sis. She then shook her head. Don't worry about me. Go on. Lincoln then went up to his sisters when there was a knock on the door. I'll get it, Lori said as she went down the stairs. She opened the door to see Clyde standing there. His face jumped back when he saw her belly pointed at him. Oh, hi, Lori. Hey, Clyde, she said. Glad you can make it. I really love parties and hanging out with Lincoln, he said. I also want to apologize for the times I passed out and bled on your shoes, and all for the stuff I said about Bobby. Lori crossed her eyes. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. She motioned with her arms. Why don't you come in now? She then stepped aside so he could enter the house. Oh, congratulations to you, he said. Thanks, Clyde, she said as she closed the door. She then smiled and watched over him walking over to Lincoln, who gave the boy a hug. Hey, babe. She then turned to see Bobby standing in the doorway with his arms outstretched. Boo-boo bear! She hugged him back. What literally took you so long? He wiped the sweat from his forehead. You know how families are, he said. They always have to go back and get something, and you have to stop for taking a dump breaks. She then stepped back. Well, I'm glad you guys are making it okay. Me too, he said. He stepped inside. Oh, is that pigs and blanket? As Bobby was about to get food, Lori greeted the rest of her family members as they entered. Oh, hi, Lori. She then felt Frida wrapped her arms around her neck. Look how big you are, Frida said. It won't be much longer now. Lori hugged her back. Hey, Frida, she said. And nope, I can't wait to get rid of it either. Hey, Mom, Carlota said at the other side of the room. Oh, look at me, Chihita. She then helped with the plan with the party by herself. She then began to tear up. They grow so fast. Lori pointed at the table next to her. The dishes are over there. Next to Rosa walked in, carrying a large bowl. I thought you guys might want some more food. And you know I like to cook for a lot of people. She then sat on the bowl on the table next to Lori. I made my famous questo. Oh, that's great. Hey, Lori said. Thanks, Rosa. Ronald the Gengen here, Maria said as she walked up to the door. Hi, Lori. I'm glad I could make it. I'm glad you guys could too. She then looked at the door. Is Ronnie Ann coming? Maria nodded. Yeah, she'll be there in a bit. She's got the presents. Ronnie Ann then walked in the door carrying a pile of gifts, almost falling over under her weight. I'm here, Mom, she said out of breath. Can someone help me, please? Hang on, sis, Bobby said, grabbing half the pile. Let's go put these over there. The two then shrugged as they walked in there already with a huge pile of presents and sat down. As Ronnie Ann sat down on hers, she looked over to see Lincoln waving at her. She smiled at her with her buck teeth showing and waved back. Luann and Lynn took notice of this and stopped what they were doing. They whispered something into each other's ear before getting back to their work. As soon as the rest of the gifts arrived, Whitney and Becky came together and Myrtle decided to come as well. As Lori shut the door, she frowned and noticed someone was missing. Nicole, her new friend, had failed to show up. Maybe she's just late, Lori thought to herself. I'll call her later. She walked over to the center of the room and clapped her hands. Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here with us today and celebrate the new life of Bobby and I are bringing into the world, she said. It wouldn't be possible without my sister Linny and Bobby's cousin Carlota. She then gestured to them. Everyone clapped while the girls waved. Before we get started on the presents though, we do have a game for the kids to play. She gestured for Luann to come over. Luann then gave her a diaper that was filled with something. Lori held it up. Inside this diaper is melted chocolate bar, she said, and everyone laughed. We have enough for everyone, and they're all the same, so don't worry. Whoever guessed it gets the first prize. Do you know what kind it is, Lori? Lincoln asked. Lori shook her head. Nope, only Luann and Lana know which ones they are, but why we're not allowed to answer. The two girls groaned and put their heads down. However, you guys will get a prize for helping out. The girls then lifted their heads up and squealed. Lori handed out a diaper to each of the kids and the teens who attended, and when they got around, Lana handed her one. I know you want to eat it, so here you go, she said. Lana gripped the diaper from her hands and began licking it. Thanks, Lori, she said, with her mouth full. Lola looked at her disgust. Ew, Lana, she said as she grabbed the diaper from Lori. Her twin looked at the melted chocolate cover her face. It's good, sis. Lola rolled her eyes and looked at the diaper in front of her. She knew it was chocolate, but the sight of it just made her wrinkle at the nose. This game is weird, she said. Why do we have to sniff a diaper? Would you rather inhale the defecation of our youngest sibling? Lisa asked. What? She then sighed. Would you rather sniff one of Lily's diapers? Lola made a disgust face. On second thought, this chocolate looks delicious. I want to try some of Simper's, Clyde said, inhaling the diaper. Or maybe it's a twist. Lincoln also sniffed at this. I'm also with you on that, buddy. Just then Lynn walked over. Hey Clyde, would you mind moving to a different seat? But I want to sit next with Lincoln, he said. Oh, you can, she pointed at the floor in front of him. The seats are reserved for someone special. Who could be possibly special then? He turned to wave at Lynn, who was pointing at. It was Ronnie Ann who was coming down the stairs. Clyde then looked back at her. Oh, I see, he said, drooping his shoulders a bit. Well, at least I'll be next to him. He got then out of the seat and moved over to Lincoln's legs. Lincoln raised an eyebrow. Hey, what are you? Linda waved her hand. Yo, Ronnie Ann! And the Latina then took a look at her and then walked over. Lincoln says he wants you to sit next to him, Lynn said, patting the seat. Oh, did he? Ronnie Ann asked, looking at Lincoln. He shook his head while his sister nodded. Yep, the seat is just for you. She took his seat. Thanks, she said, as she looked over at the diaper Lincoln was holding. Ew, what kind of game is that? He held it up to her. It's not what you think, he laughed. It's chocolate. Really? Let me see. She grabbed it from him and took a look at it. Oh, it is. He then shook his head. Yeah, but we're not supposed to. Why don't you give it a try, she asked, and she held it up to him. He looked at it nervously and grabbed it from her and holding it to his face and took a lick as well. Oh, that is good, he said, licking the chocolate off his face. You were right, Clyde. From the other side of the room, Luann and Lynn giggled. Their plan had worked. Did you see that? Lynn exclaimed. They were both licked the same chocolate. If only it had been a Hershey's Kiss, Luann elbowed her. Lynn was so excited to roll her eyes. Hey, you too, Carlota said. You're not supposed to eat it, so neither of you get anything. The kids put their hands down. Aw, they said in illusion. Lori clapped her hands. Okay, guys, time's up, she said. What bar do you think it is? Linny raised an eyebrow. This kind of looks like it has beer in it. She then held up the diaper. Lori pinched the nose of the bridge of her nose. No, Linny, it's not what you think it, you know what, never mind, she said. It was a good try, but that's not the right answer. She then looked around the room. Anyone else? Sam held up her hand. Is it Simper's? Yes, Lori said, jumping up and down. Come on up and get your prize. The blondie walked over to Lori, who handed a bouquet of candy and a Burpin Burger gift card. She then sat back down next to Luna and waved the card at her. You and me lunch tomorrow, she said, grabbing her hand. I'm buying. Luna squeezed her hand. Ah, that's so sweet. She kissed her cheek. Lori picked up 2 more jars of candy. Luann, Lana, come here. The girls had walked up and got up their own prizes. Eee, bubblegum, Lana squealed. I hope everyone just had fun with that, Lori said, grabbing her own chair. That's because it's time for me and Bobby to have some fun. Done. Bobby walked over and set a bunch of gift bags in front of her. Since they knew no one, whoever was having a baby was a boy or girl, they decided to choose the presents that they would be used for either one. Everyone then watched as she and Bobby opened as many presents. They received so many things that they still needed, such as a bath, baby tub, a bouncy seat, a swing, a bassinet, lots of onesies and footsies made for all different colors, a car seat, and lots of diapers. Lori wiped a tiny bit of sweat off her forehead as she pushed aside everything that she had received. Thank you so much, guys, so much for all of this, she said. We're so thankful to have many people who love our baby so much already. As Bobby began to carry some stuff to their room, Lincoln jumped in. Wait, Lori, you forgot one, he said. She then looked around confused. I don't see anyone. Just then Luna, Luann, and Lynn came up carrying a huge box. They sat in front of her. What is this, she asked. Just open it, sis, Luna said. The twins and Lily came around and sat around the box, and Bobby was next to her. The box was blue and pink with a giant bow on top. It was a tiny card that read, "To our niece or nephew from your aunts and uncle." She opened it and was amazed what she saw. Inside there was a bunch of gifts, blankets, stuffed animals, bottles, pacifiers. Her siblings smiled as they watched her go up in the individual gift. Then Lincoln spoke. We as thought instead of buying our own presents, we could pick one together, he said. Then we went all to the store and picked out something, Luna said. She picked up a DVD full of lullabies. I picked this one out. Luann pulled out some of her sock puppets. I got these, she said, hugging them. They're just like the ones I used to play with when I was little. I picked one of those AC Savvy onesies, Lincoln said. I hope he or she will like them as much as I do. I made you these Tootsies cute. Here's a nursing blanket, Lenny said, holding it up. Though I don't know if you were a nurse. Lori felt her eyes begin to tear up. Guys, this is beyond. I was expecting to receive today, she said, wiping her eyes. She then looked over at Bobby, who had tears in his eyes. Aw, boo-boo bear. He then sniffed. I think it's finally hitting me that I'm going to be a dad soon, he said, and that our baby is so lucky to have so many people who love them. Gaga, Lily said, lifting her arms. Lori grabbed her and sat her on top of her lap. The baby reached into the box and grabbed the stuffed monkey. She then put it up to Lori's chest. Oh, is this for the baby? She asked her baby sister. Lily nodded and received a kiss on her head. Aw, thank you so much, Lily. Ronnie Ann then smiled at the scene and walked up to Lori. She then reached into the box and pulled out a small set of pajamas with purple flowers and another that said, Too Cool, with a skateboard on it. I know I'm not your sister, but I'm also the baby's aunt too, she said. Lincoln asked me if I wanted to buy something for the box, and of course I had to. Lori then reached out and hugged her. Thanks, Ronnie Ann, she said. Then all the siblings hugged her, as well as Bobby. We love you, Lori, Lincoln said. I love you too. She managed to choke out between sobs. Once she pulled herself together and they released, the younger sisters continued to show Lori the presents they got for her. While the others went out to do their own things, Lincoln then made his way over to Ronnie Ann. Hey, Ronnie Ann, he said sweetly. Hey, Lamo, she said. What's up? Well, actually had something I wanted to ask you, he began. A few gasps could be heard, and his sisters turned to look at him. Oh my god, he is gonna ask what I think he is, Lenny whispered. Lincoln looked at his sisters and with his face and as red as Lynn's shirt. Seriously, you guys, he said, annoyed. I just want to ask her if she wants to have a sleepover. Aw, that could be sweet heard from all of them. Sorry, Linky, Lola said. The others had followed her head and apologized as well. He then turned over to back at Ronnie Ann, who was blushing. Well, I love to spend the night, if that's okay with my mom. She then looked over at Maria. She waved her hands down. Go ahead. There's a bag for your things in the car. Ronnie Ann smiled and ran out of the car. Lincoln then walked over to Clyde, who was frowning a bit. Oh, hey, buddy, you do want to come too? Clyde's face brightened. Of course. I'll call my dad's and see if he could bring us some popcorn. Lincoln watched as his friend went outside. He then turned to the box again and full of goodies. Maybe he would have another buddy to hang out with. Just maybe. Having big families as who you love is always great, but there's always never too many hugs to go around, and you'll never feel alone. The only downside is that you'll always get more gifts than you would know what to do with. Lenny opened her door to her room, and it seemed to be stuck, so she pushed on it just for a tiny bit. Uh-oh, Lori, our door is broken, she yelled. No, it's not, Lenny, Lori said from the outside. She heard footsteps coming to the door. Bobby, can you move that so then Lenny can get in? She then heard something move and the door opened. Oh, what are you guys doing? Is the baby gonna be sleeping in there? For the first few months, yeah, her older sister said. I talked to Mom and Dad and we all decided to keep the baby in here for a while. Once Bobby and I felt that it's okay, we'll move it out to the garage. Lenny then scratched her head. So where do I sleep? Lori pointed at her bed. You can still sleep there unless you'd rather sleep in the garage. The blondie shook her head. No, thank you, she said. Although if you guys need help, I am good at organizing and decorating. Bobby held out a pile of clothes. Oh, thank goodness, he said, wiping the sweat from his forehead. I could use it. They spent the next few minutes organizing and putting away the baby clothes. Biz, biz. Lori then reached out her pocket and pulled her cell phone. It was what it went. Hey, Lori, it's Nicole. Sorry I wasn't able to make it to your baby shower. I was actually occupied with something else. I'm at the hospital. Come and see me. She gasped and causing Lenny and Bobby to look at her. Is everything okay, babe? He asked. Yeah, I need to go to the hospital, she said. Bobby dropped off the clothes and ran over to her hand. Are you okay? He said frantic. Here, let me get your stuff. Before he could panic any longer, she grabbed his hands. No, I'm fine, she said. It's because Nicole had her baby. An expression softened. Oh, that's great, he said. Do you want me to go with you? She then shook her head. That's sweet of you, but I think you should stay here and help Lenny, she said. Besides, I won't be able to drive much longer, as may as well take the advantage. Oh, okay, Bobby said, squeezing her hands. Just be careful. She kissed his cheek. I know, and I will be, she said. I am carrying your precious cargo after all. That you are, he said, placing a hand on her stomach. She gave him a glance before she turned to leave. Make sure Lenny is okay, she told him. She's gotten all tangled up with the blankets and before they were trying to fold them. He then laughed. Will do. See ya. She waved in goodbye and closed the door behind her. Hi, I'm here to see Nicole, Lori said as she leaned against the reception's desk. She's in room 13 right down the hall. Thank you, she said. Being in the maternity ward was strange range as a young adult now. Then there was where she would be in the next few weeks. She walked past the nursery where a few babies were being tended to. Down the hall, she could hear somebody screaming from giving birth. Then it sent a shiver down her spine. She finally made it to the room. There was a curtain covering the entrance, so she slowly pushed it out of the way. Her heart skipped a beat when she saw her best friend laying there with a small pink bundle in her arms. Hey, she whispered. Nicole turned to look at her and smiled. Oh, hey, glad you could make it. She one step closer to the bed. Of course, she said. I couldn't miss it. The baby began to fuss a bit, so she rocked her. Shh, it's okay, she smoothed. So she turned the baby around so that Lori could see her face. She had slightly tanned skin and the cutest button nose. Her hair was chestnut, almost red. She even had her eyes open slightly, still trying to keep them away from the bright, blinding lights at the hospital room. This is Olivia, Nicole said. Isn't she precious? Lori nodded. Yeah, she is. I am so sorry I didn't let you know I was going to make it to your party, Nicole said. I went into labor and it was so sudden I wasn't able to think or really do much. She then waved her hand down. Hey, don't even worry about it. I mean it, Lori said. This way is more important than the party. Nicole then looked back at her baby. Yeah, I know, she said. I did get your present, but maybe you can come to my house sometime and get it? Sure I can. Good, she moved to the baby towards her. Do you want to hold her? Oh, of course, Lori said. The baby was placed in her arms and it felt like her world stopped for a second. Lori had held many newborns over the years. Her mom had her new baby every year or so holding one was no big deal to her. Though this time standing there, holding a newborn friend's baby, it just felt so different. She then moved the blanket away a bit, revealing Olivia's little hands. They were so soft and holding like a small sack of flour. Lori then put her fingers near her head, allowing the baby to grasp on it. "Aw, she really likes you," Nicole said. Lori sniffled, and her eyes became very watery. "Yeah, she does," she said, "and I like her too." Tissue? She then looked over to see Nicole handing her a wad of tissues. "I've already been through a box since she's been born," she said. Lori then gladly accepted them and used her free hand to wipe her eyes. "Thank you." "You're welcome," Nicole said, and then she laid back and put her hand above her head. You know, there was no feeling like it. You come in and no so scared that you have this thing rip you open, all the pain and the sleep you lose, you're tired, you're angry, you want nothing more than some pain medicine and a ton of food. But that was when they laid the baby on your chest and all you hear is a little cry. None of that matters anymore. She then took a minute to grab another tissue. All you could think about was this little fragile human that you carried inside for you for 9 months. It's not about me anymore. It's about her now. Lori grabbed another tissue and wiped her eyes. She looked down at the little bundle in her arms. Sleeping infant was so small, so fragile, and so weak. Nicole's words then felt her feelings that she didn't know how to describe. She thought that she would soon experience the same thing, were both terrifying and exciting. Just a few weeks, she would be there in Zach's spot, holding her own bundle of joy in her arms. She then took one last look at the baby in her arms and she whispered, "You're perfect."